My friend, do you ever wonder why you can think yourself into stress, into anxiety, maybe even depression, but you cannot think your way out in the same way? Now, the reason's actually more straightforward than you might think. Your nervous system is primed to take in current situations, the present moment, and it's going to reflect. Now, keep in mind, I did not say react. It reflects and predicts what those circumstances are going to turn into. And so now the reason that you can think your way into stress or anxiety and depression is that we have a new understanding that it's your nervous system and that it doesn't take something bad and analyze it. It simply does not. It takes something bad and then it practices to see how bad it can get. And psychologists have been calling this negativity bias for years. But what we know is that negative thinking that turns on that fight, flight, freeze response actually has a compounding effect until there has been resolution. And this is why, if you have stress as an entrepreneur, if you have mental health challenges, you can't think your way out of them. The best way to do that is that mood follows action. And taking action is giving your nervous system a new environment to create new predictions from. So keep in mind who you surround yourself by, their vibe, yes, is important, but also the environment that they bring you into, the words, the sensory that you feel in your body. If you match, that is what you become. And your identity is defined by your commitment. So make sure you're committing to yourself to set yourself consciously into the right environment on a daily basis, a moment to moment basis, until you habituate saying, what is it that I would love? So the first step is to visualize what you want, define your desires, and direct your attention towards them rather than focusing on what you currently possess, what you think you deserve or can have based on your past, and to then eliminate anything that conflicts with your goals. So continually catch yourself, my friend, and use a meditation technique. As a hypnotherapist, I use the 3 Bs: your breath, your body stance, and your beliefs, which are basically thoughts thought over and over again. Shift it, shut up and shift out, 30,000 foot view. And it helps you redirect yourself when you veer off course. It's about removing obstacles and embracing those opportunity costs and understanding that choosing one thing means giving up another. That's the essence of what I now call the second step, which is removing and the ability to refocus. When we shift out and shut up, we're taking that next step of removing and bringing ourselves back into a different focus. We're broadening out. So, moving on to now, the third is to dive into the emotion. As noted, mood follows action. So, we want to visualize and intentionally choose the emotion that I want to feel. This involves transitioning from mere thoughts to feeling and ultimately to a state of knowing. And when visualizing your future self, one common reason for subconscious self sabotage is not feeling worthy of your goals on an emotional level. It's very common for myself, for you, all of us as mankind. You are worthy of anything and everything that you want. There is no proving to be worthy of the desires of your heart. So it's possible to envision and desire something, but if you harbor conflicting goals, if you constantly find yourself distracted in multiple different directions throughout the day, it's likely because you haven't fully accepted and internalized the emotional connection to your desired outcome. If the goal feels emotionally distant from you, you will resist it and leading to 100% unworthiness, resistance, and it will be persistent to a self distracted life. So, this resistance and avoidance stems from the lack of belief, again, in your worthiness. And Dr. Hawkins, right, our lovely vibrational friend, expressed this idea succinctly when he said, your belief in your own worthiness determines the outcome. Focus on what you want, appreciate it, express it, and feel good about it. What you appreciate appreciates. And by doing so, you can bridge the emotional gap between your current self and your future self. And left on autopilot, we fall into what we know as the neurological drift. And scientific side note here, my friend, when you look at neuroscience and how the mind is a prediction generator, going back to when we started this little dialogue, we can see how what is called neurological drift, which refers to changes in the brain of structure of function over time. Because the brain is constantly rewiring itself based on experiences, the thoughts, and the behaviors. So those neural pathways are formed, weakened, and lost throughout life in a process known as neurological drift. Therefore, it's important to live in awareness, curating the right environment and the emotions to match, creating a conscious life that is followed by action, bringing us back to harmony, back into resonance with our heart's desire. And when you have resonance with that future version of yourself, thinking and feeling from the perspective of achieving the goal or whatever it is, rather than just towards it, to achieve this, we remove those triggers that bring us back those thoughts and emotions of your past or present self. This may include certain people or situations that pull you off course. So be mindful, be vigilant, surround yourself with inputs that align with your desired future self. And if your current friendships, business structure, mastermind doesn't match that, it is your soul's integrity of not being able to cut off things that no longer match your desires. Your environment and the people you surround yourself will play a significant role in shaping your, yes, thoughts and emotions, but your future. And left to cause and effect and no will, your will be decided for you. So create routines, my friends, environments that allow you to really osmosis into a meditation and visualize your future self. I have an app on the App Store. You can download it. It sets you up with a simulation every single morning to move you into that resonance. DM me if you want it. But operate from that emotional standpoint of your future self. We all know Joe Dispenza's beautiful work where he emphasizes feeling the future before it happens. You don't need a perfect situation to feel good. In fact, feeling good will help you create the right situation in the first place. So just remember that happiness is the way. It's not a destination based on circumstances. Now, the 3 steps, again, are as follows. Step 1, focus on and define what you want. 2, continuously remove anything pulling you off course and distractions and bring yourself back onto that desire track. Step 3 is emotionally align yourself with your future feeling of what you desire as if it is already yours, and find peace, patience, and healthy detachments, knowing your goals are within your reach based on the environment that you set up. Now, many times there are lessons that I personally have not learned, and I find myself repeating them again and again, which hinders my progress to achieve that 10x growth that I'm trying to improve every single day. Similarly, there are lessons you might still be repeating, representing your 80% that you're pouring down the drain and keeping you stuck at your current level instead of progressing to your future self that higher standard. And that is the transitional world we are moving into. There is a dividing line in the sand. And hoping that your current standard will suffice to get you to the next level, it doesn't work. People might get really close to finishing a level or going through that next level. But if they skip important lessons along the way, they'll be exposed. And in the end, we just repeat that level over and over again. Sometimes we even have to start over and learn those lessons that we tried to skip. I've witnessed it within my own life. I've witnessed it with my closest friends. I've witnessed it with those in my business communities. So the repeating of a level can take years. It can even take a decade. And unless we, myself included, aggressively learn the lessons, it's really about raising your floor, purging out the passivity, and evolving yourself by learning and passing the exams that your past self wouldn't have passed. And that is something to celebrate. It ain't easy, but it is damn fucking good to move beyond, to find the support to help you break through that level. And quite frankly, in my life right now, I'm more adamant on finding the no holds barred people in my life to hold me accountable. And it's hard because I can't really find them. And this requires saying no to things that your past self would have pursued out of that lower consciousness, like seeking approval or trying to outdo others based on your ego because you're insecure. So if the purpose isn't deeply intrinsic and align with your frequency, it's what I call the flow frequency. We're a part of 5 elements: earth, wind, fire, metal. Water is bringing the spirit all together right up into the top. And if you're aligned with what you truly want, or instead driven by beating someone else or proving yourself, you'll end up repeating that same damn cycle without learning the lesson. Each level of life demands a different version of you. And the lessons will keep repeating until they are learned. So be encouraged. This is not in like negative. This is such an exciting message because right now we are quadrupling. We're literally quantum leaping. Everybody calls it the golden age or whatever you want to call it, the fourth turning. There are going to be more millionaires and young, beautiful souls that are going to be bringing in this transference of wealth than you would ever believe. You can be one. In fact, you probably are one. Question is, each level, as it's handed to you, if you flop, you're going to have to start over. There are no shortcuts. So the journey towards that 10x growth truly involves excitement, the emotion of that juiciness of what you desire just because you love it. Spend time every day in that. Grow that. Grow that so that your context and your capacity gets so large of what you expect of all the good to happen. And along the way, you'll encounter peaks and valleys, all serving the purpose of internalizing and developing the necessary skills and the abilities to handle those higher levels of responsibility. And oh, what a joy that is. These abilities can only be acquired, my friend. And I would love to walk along that path with you by learning your lessons and you learning from my lessons so that we can just avoid them. And will inevitably lead to a crashing valley if we force things, if we don't confront them or we learn from them. So I'm here if you need anything. And may this be encouraging and a absolute ticket to just falling in love with what you desire. What is it that you would love? That is the only essence that I want you to pull away from today. Embracing these lessons truly will allow you to progress to that next level. And it's not about meeting to the next level, it's literally the journey of human consciousness and feeling so light in your energy body that you're serving everybody around you just by being you, the essence of you. And each iteration of enjoying life more and more of the journey. And it'll make you better equipped for the challenges ahead at the same time. That's agility. So, with that being said, I love you, dear soul. And I started off with you can think yourself into stress and anxiety, or maybe even depression. You can't think your way out. So, it's all about the nervous system. And also, mood follows action. So, integration is key. All right. Leave me your comments on what you think. And what I want to know more than anything is what it is it that you would love more than anything else in your life. Go get it. All my love, all my light.